beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback. No, I'm just concentrating on not leaving the rod over the side. And his eyes. He's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel. So, Robin and Chris are both into giant skate. We know the giant because they're both huffing and puffing. They're both sweating and bleating. They're into big fish, big monster fish. Leigh's just trying to set me up with my 200. So I'll get my sticker. Am I going to get my sticker today, Leigh, or what? Do I get my sticker today? You're going to just plant one on the end for me. I still haven't had my 200, have I? 188 off this boat. The day that 3 people had 200s, I had a 188. Conditions are difficult today. It's quite a bit of tide, quite a bit of wind. Everything's conspiring against us. Leigh's done his magic with putting us on top of the fish. We had an SOS call earlier that we started to respond to, but another vessel got there first. So it's all been all action today, all exciting stuff. And you can hear the clanking around in the background. That's rods being moved around. So Robin was the first to hook up. He's at the transom door at the moment. We'll be on to him in a minute. Chris has been playing his fish for a good 20 minutes now, I think. And this is a known mark for large skate. So wait and see what they got. And hopefully I'll pick up a rod myself in a minute and see if I can get into one. I'm saving myself for the biggie. I've got the bling gear with me, I've got shark rods with me today. And going to give them a bit of a workout hopefully. Get that baited up and out in a minute. Give it a run out, get the line all nicely tensioned onto the reel. Nothing better than 450 feet drop with a 200-pound fish to do that. So I'd like to catch 2 today so I can give both rods a proper workout. Get the bling rods out. Both guys are fighting fish at the moment. Robin's at the transom gate, getting ready to land his. Or Leigh will land it for him. Boat's rocking from side to side. Chris is getting that business done. So I suppose the big question then, Chris, is why did you come back?
I absolutely loved it the first time. Thanks for that prize, really appreciate that. And obviously my mate Robin, obviously he's been jealous ever since, so yeah, the only way to stop being jealous is getting him on the boat as well.
Is it everything you remembered?
It is, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. Kind of I've got to take him more like painkillers, you know.
They're bending the rod. Bit choppier this time though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It goes with the experience, you know.
Yeah. So just see colour on Robin's fish. I'm just looking to wait and see. Here we come. You can see the trace leader. Look at the size of that. That's a 200. It's got to be. That has got to be a 2, isn't it?
Find out in a minute. Right, if you just walk back a little bit. Don't give up on it just yet.
Fella, look at the size of it. Yeah, we'll de-leech it in a sec, bud. He's just dealing with it. Unhook it, hook straight out, barbless hook.
Congratulations.
Mate, for your first skate,
Yeah.
how does that feel?
Absolutely brilliant.
What a stunning fish. That's a cracker, isn't it? Just de-leeching it there, look, taking all the leeches off. Do the fish a favour. Now we need to do the all important bit, which is measure it.
Edit that bit out.
Kick in the bucket. Just a little bit of water down the sphericals, look, just looking after the fish. Just make sure all it's flooded out. You see the water coming out the other spherical there, look. Fish care is everything. Leigh actually tags all of these fish, checks to see if they're tagged electronically, records them all for the university, and knows all of the individual fish.
Don't give yourself any extra inches like most blokes. Knock it down. Right, that's it. We have 64.
64.
I'll get the whippy spiky end. 85.
64, 85. I reckon that's a 197. That'd be cruel if that's not quite a 200, wouldn't it? You deserve the 200, mate. That is a stunning looking fish.
Get a sticker for a 200.
You do get a sticker for a 200.
Get a sticker for 200.
Yeah. Chris is still doing the business, look. We're measuring fish, Chris is fighting fish.
190.
Oh, I was 7 off. £190 for your first
I don't
ever.
point it out, but you smash Mark's record.
Yeah, mine's a 188. Yeah. Oh, get up from my knees. Get wet knees.
You're gonna hold it up in front of you, Robin. For the
Yeah, I'll try. You got to hold this up. None of that holding it at arm's length to make it look bigger. Well done, buddy.
It's turning.
A feisty male.
Well done. If it doesn't whip you in the face. 60, 78.
Oh, look. Go on, cup his clangers. They're not clangers, they're claspers.
28.
128 male. That's a fighting fit male, isn't it? Well done, buddy. Away he goes. Yeah, it doesn't want to come in. Keeps taking line. It's got no intention of giving any line here. It wants to go that way. Right, looks like I'm going to be here for quite some time. I'll get back to you in a bit. Here to have a skate at the back of the boat. He's going the wrong way though. Don't really want to be doing a sideways drag. Shall I walk that way, mate? Shall I? There you go. Oh, he's only a tiddler. Is that another male? It is as well, isn't it? He's made a mess of that, hasn't he? Whew. It's another decent sized male, isn't he?
Right.
For a male, that is. Whew.
Not to be sniffed, that. There we go.
Lightly hooked, look at that. Oh. He's a bit smaller than your one, Chris, I think.
Too similar. 57.
Yeah, he's shorter, isn't he? Yours was 65, I think.
57, 78.
Whew. Stunner. I love them, aren't they? They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. He's clean as well, isn't he?
122.
122. He's baby, isn't he? That was all tied, no fish. He's a nice fish, isn't he? He's a male. Beautiful.
Let's let this one. That's not
Love the way they just sink like that sometimes. And all of a sudden it's just a couple of flaps of the wings, like you see his wings flapping.
There he goes.
Blew out the air, sucked in the water, and away he goes. Magical. Cheers, guys. Got the clicker on. It's the long drop. Ting tang jangle magoolies. It's bent the rod over. Look at that. That is all just line stretch, isn't it? And that's just stuck to the bottom, innit? I don't think that rod can bend anymore, do you? And I've got no line left on the reel. There's no room for error. Oh. Go on. That's just stuck on, that's all line stretch. Wow. I'm looking at the camera because I'm going to tell the camera this is going to take a while. Ain't going anywhere sometime soon, is it? Well, sort of at loggerheads. It's the lighter of the two rods. It's a 20-30. I think 50 class is the right size rod for this, to be honest. And it's the lightest rod here. It's all go now because we've got double hook up. Second fish on.
Oh, it's full. Oh, you
Dropped it.
Yeah, I got that one. Right in his head.
Almost had two hook up.
Will it come back?
He'll be there mooching, he'll be hungry.
You can feel the up there, sounds like it's at the end of the bait.
He'll just think that whatever it was he was going to eat fought back. It's coming up right up underneath the boat. High up on the back, in the back. Just now. It's getting fairly close, isn't it? Get some water.
95.
95. Okay, there we go. That's 95 on a 2030. Let's have a quick look at that. Look. 2030 Shimano Beastmaster. Wry smile. He's in for the battle, getting that business done. What's it, Chris?
It's a monster.
It's a Kraken. They've had enough. Boat in the distance, small boat, been skate fishing. We've watched them pull in a few. That it. I clunker of a male.
Hello.
Fat nut leashes.
That is crazy.
There you go, sir.
Yes,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Well done, that man.
Congratulations.
Sparta.
One of the weirdest fights I've ever seen in a skate.
That is a bonkers sized male, isn't it?
You're relaxed and the hooks do just drop out. But 60.
Danger end.
80.
Yeah, it was 60 to 80.
That's a weird size, isn't it? That's a long fish.
Weird first.
That's a big male, isn't it? He's even really deep muscular,
Really fat,
isn't it?
isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big old lump.
How thick his wings are.
They are, aren't they? He's just bristling. Be interesting to hear the conversion for that one.
Was all this from that trick and they're like scrapping each other or something?
Possibly scars. That's a big male, isn't it?
133.
A 133 male and a 190 female.
Yep.
Well done. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
That is a monster, isn't it? Stunning.
First time out, loving it.
First time ever, eh? How cool is that?
All for a break.
Oh, look at the way that turned. That's amazing. Straight down. So, Robin's had a 133 and a 190. I had a 98 and a 122, I think, and Chris had a 128. So all in all, seagulls allowed. All in all, it's been a good day. Hard work though. It's been hard work today. They've made us work for it. It didn't come easy. But yeah, so we're going to be heading off back. I've got to go and sort the van out, sort the kit out, get to our shore mark for the night, set up before it gets dark, and then we'll be filming fishing for skate from the shore. More to come. We'll see you. Hello and welcome to day 2 of our Scotland adventure, all based and centred around Oban on the west coast of Scotland. What are we up to today? Well, a quick recap really. So we drove up, 10-hour drive from Southampton. You get to Glasgow and you keep on going, and we end up in Oban. First night we fished a mark targeting spurs. We caught thornbacks. Caught thornbacks, a couple of thornbacks, no spurs. The spurs are hit and miss. They're either there or they're not. We didn't get them. So that's the downside of travelling a long way with a plan. You have to be ready to adapt the plan. So we fished the first night. I was out on the boat the next morning, out on the Laura Dawn 2, skippered by Leigh Taylor, with my friend Chris Bucknill and Robin. And you've seen the footage from the boat. So I think I had a 95 and I think it was a 122 or 128, 122 possibly, can't remember, check the footage. And I gave my new shark rods a bit of a workout. So Leigh very kindly said, yeah, bring your rods along, give them a go. We'll see how they get on. Put some weight on them, load the line onto the reels really well. And it did work well, because you're 450 feet deep. So you're paying a lot of line off of your reel. And then when there's £100 plus fish on the end, you're putting a tension on it to bring it back. So those rods are nicely spooled now, ready for some shark escapades on the south coast at Mollymoo, my little boat. So what are we up to today? So we're not far out of Oban, within an hour's drive of Oban, and we're fishing deep water. So 70 yards out, it's 100 feet deep. And we're not really expecting stuff during daylight hours, but we've got rods out. Collin and myself, we've both got 2 rods out, big baits, big rigs. I've had some problems with my rig. My rig isn't fishing the way I want it to. So we go through it, eh? So what I'm actually using is 10-foot continuous length of line. So I've got a 5-foot pulley rig, but there's no join, there's no swivels in that, there's no nothing. And what I found is coming back, that pulley, you know, where the line's doubled up like that, my braid from my main line from the reel is getting wrapped around one of these lengths and it's not allowing it to release. So it's coming back only fishing like a short snood, and that's not on the bottom, that's not going to catch me a fish. So the way round that is between that swivel and the rod and the braid connection, I've put 4 foot of shock leader. I've just put 4 foot of 80-pound ASSO Ultraflex, which I usually use for shore casting. It's 90-pound braid, so that is now my weak link. This will go before this, and this will go before the braid. So my weak link is an 80-pound shock leader. The business end, a crushed barb hook. That's a Mustad 10-0 O'Shaughnessy pattern. You can see the shape of that. Bit different to like the Cox and Royal, I always pronounce that wrong. Cox and Royal meat hook. Different shape to it. It's got a longer back to it, and then the hook point kicks away. So what happens is when that's led on the bait, the hook point sits very proud. And what I'd like to do is put like a mackerel bait, elastic it up, and then put a squid over it, and then you end up with about that much hook point showing, but very proud because it's very aggressive pattern. I crush the barb rather than file the barb because it leaves a mound, and that just gives a little bit of stiction, so it doesn't, if you did go slack for any reason, it doesn't just drop out. It sort of helps to hold it there, but when you come to unhook it, it's simplicity. So that's the business end. Rovex 10X line, continuous, all the way through. I'm using a Trident Dynaform, I'm giving them a go. I have caught on the previous version of that, the Trident Aero Pulley, but I don't like those too much. I do prefer these, but there's a bit of stiction there as well, because this line's so thick, there is a bit of stiction. So I've got another rig that's just got a swivel, 220-pound Cox and Royal swivel, which is that, a 220-pound Cox and Royal swivel. 6mm beads, I think that is, all the way down, 6mm bead to protect the knot. And then I'm using a Gemini Solo splashdown for the weight. And this one's luminous, so at night when my head torch is on it, I can see it come up through the water. The water's very clear, clarity's really good. It's just like gin clear. And that's what we got. So when that's, the only thing you can't do, and some of you might have spotted this one, and if you have, brownie points for spotting it, but I'll explain it anyway. He says as it gets all tangled up, you know, when you try and demonstrate these things, this is what happens straight away. That hook will not clip captive into that splashdown. It's just too big around. It's not going to go. That ain't going in there. So what we use, or what I've been using, and these are Storm Easy Clips. And it's a pear-shaped clip. See that? So what you do is you put that in your splashdown, because you want it to be captive. You don't want the bait to fall out in the cast, because it just turns into a nightmare. So that is now clipped in there, and your hook clips in that. So a big hook into a solo splashdown. That is a really elegant solution to that problem. I like it a lot. It also makes the hook sit tighter in, more aerodynamic. And then you go all the way to the end of your pulley as normal, and then that is attached to my now added piece of shock leader to my braid. Because I'm running 90-pound braid, I wasn't using a shock leader. Just adds a weak link, adds a failure point. I've put one in now. So that's the rig. I'm using, 8 or 10 ounce grip weights. Take a bit of beefing to get them out. We're not boating baits out. We know people do, and people like to. That's their choice. When you boat your bait out, but when I'm fishing from the shore, I like to cast from the shore. And then if I catch one from the shore, there's been no boat involved. So we're not boating rigs out. Some marks, they're just out of casting range. If they're out of casting range and you can take a sip, all credit to you. Use the tools that are available to you. Not quite into the carp fisherman world yet, where we've got little radio control boats or drones flying things out. It's too windy here. Talking of wind, I know I'm jibber jabbering. There's no fish to show you at the moment. I think the fish are going to come tonight. Last night on the rocks, it was cold. Proper, not what was forecast. The forecast was 3 to 5 mile-an-hour winds and glass smooth steady seas. By sunrise this morning, it was throwing 10-15 foot waves up the rocks and it was 30 mile-an-hour winds. We had to abandon that mark because we wouldn't have been able to land a fish if we caught one. And the chances of catching one were slim anyway because of the conditions. You just wouldn't be able to, just couldn't get anything. It's like a wash machine out there. So we've already been to one mark and thingied it. Colin's just prepping a rig to get his fired out. Whole mackerel. I'm using half a mackerel, like lengthways, like a fillet, with a whole squid elastic to it. And getting it out. Nice big juicy bait. What doesn't help, and I'm looking out there looking for one at the moment, the seal that's popped up. Probably having a little beaver away, looking around. Is there something for free that I can have? Don't want to catch a seal. So that's what we're up to. So I'm in my comfy chair. This is where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. I'm in the Bigaloo, which is like the igloo, only bigger. And that's what we're up to. So, 2 rods in the water and fishing. Young Collin is doing his bits. There's the rod set up. That's what we're casting out into. And that's what we're here for. So that's what we're up to. So I'm nice and comfy in my chair. Beauty of the Bigaloo is you can bring. It did rain earlier, even though it's not forecast to. It's Scotland. It's liquid sunshine, vertical sunshine. Yeah. So it's the west coast of Scotland. It rains a lot, even though it's forecast for sunny. Got my hat in case the midgies appear tonight, which thankfully they haven't up until now. No midgies, no horseflies. Nice and quiet. No road noise, no nothing. It's beautiful. Colin's just fired that out a healthy 80 yards. It does restrict your cast in the size of the bait. But from your rod tip, it just looks like it goes straight down. So you cast out here, you cast 80 yards out, it's 100 feet deep. The old trigonometry. You've got to keep your bail arm open and keep letting it, otherwise if you close your bail arm you just drag the bait back towards you, you lose all your distance. What I've been doing is letting the wind blow a belly of line and just feed that belly so the belly of line stays constant, and as soon as that belly of line grows, then close the bail arm, wind into it, settle the bait, put it in the tripod. Yeah, so that's the warm up. Day 2. Tomorrow morning, 06 Buffalo. Sunrise is 5:15, 5:30, something like that. We'll pack up, break camp, and then we'll head off home. 10-hour drive. We'll be home tea time tomorrow. So a 10-hour drive in the fishing wagon. Right. So hopefully we're going to catch a fish. We're going to catch a shore caught skate. That's what we're aiming for. We've seen the boat caught. We'd like to get one shore caught, just for comparison. And if I can squeeze it in before sunset, we'll do a baiting up, and I'll show you that rig fully baited up. And I might show you one of my clumsy casts as well, just because. I might not. I might change my mind on that one. I might change my mind and not show that, because it's a bit embarrassing. Because poor technique is amplified by honking big baits and flopping it out. But it is what it is. I think it's about time for another drink. I might have another hot chocolate and a Bakewell tart. Sausage, bacon and eggs for tea tonight. All going to cook it on that little cooker. Looking forward to it. Right, enough jibber jabbering. That's what we're up to. Hopefully we'll come back with some fish. Oh, comments in the comment section. Smash them in. Have I caught the sun? I'm looking at myself. Yeah, I've caught the sun now. Right, in the comment section. Rigs, bait, adventures, Scotland, Oban, boat fishing, Shakespeare, Beastmasters, shark rods. Get your comments in the comment section. I love the interaction. For some reason, comments have dried out a little bit lately. I like jibber jabbering and getting in, people giving hints and tips and me passing hints and tips out. Stuff you've learnt, stuff I've learnt, stuff that I can share, stuff that you can share. Get it in the comment section. Love it. Love to hear from you. Even if it's, I don't want pictures of your tea and what you had for breakfast this morning, but if it's fishing related, boat related, sea related, I'd love to hear from you. Put it in the comments. Let's have a chat. You can't mistake the sound of big braid on a fixed spool reel, can you? Mine sounds exactly the same. Right, I am going now. I'll be back in a bit. So we're campfire cooking. Got my sausages in the pan. Buy the thinner sausages because they cook quicker. All little tricks. So what's the plan? Right, cooking sausages. When they're cooked, I'm going to cut them down into like 1-inch segments. Cook my bacon. Make sure the bacon's all cooked. Drain the fat. 2 eggs cracked in the pan. Big pan omelette smash thing. I don't know what you call that. It's like a breakfast mess. Breakfast mess that's going to go down a treat because I'm quite hungry now. I've started cooking. Not quite a catch and cook. I suppose I could do some squid rings, couldn't I? Shallow fried squid rings. Right, I need to concentrate because this is important. It's my dinner. Unfortunately, we had to skip the eggy bit. The eggy bit. Because it was Scottish sunshine. Bit of a downpour. Just like a big omelette really, isn't it? A breakfast omelette. So, all conveniently cut to size. So screaming hot sausages, sizzled bacon, and 2 eggs. In an aluminium pan, all cooked on a little stove. Single pan, that's like a cooked breakfast without the beans and the mushrooms. Don't put tomatoes in it. It's like a cooked breakfast in a pan, isn't it? Yeah. So it stopped raining. Can see more coming. Recently fresh baited. Darkness. That's the witching hour, isn't it? That's when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. When it's difficult to film and I've got to get the lighting rigged is when we're going to get a take. If we get a take at all. Well, it's happened. I've hooked into one. And it's a decent sized one by all feel because it's got some go in it. Oh. I don't know what to say because there's nothing to say. I've got the drag up as far as I dare. Colin was shouting at me as the line started stripping off the reel. I had seen it, but I was slow getting up out of my chair. And it's a totally different fight compared to from a boat. Because he's just sucked down now. He's not snagged, he's just sucked down. Just about creeping along. I say him, it might be her. I'm just looking at that ledge. What does that ledge look like to you, Colin? Does that look like it tapers down, or do you think I might get snagged up underneath it? Do you think it's worth me walking out a bit? I think I'm going to have to risk this and walk out a bit. Even though it's going to be slippery. Oh, there's a ledge right in front of me. See if we can walk to this side. Worried about that ledge. I can see something. I can see my weight. I can see the fish. Oh, look at him go. Here we go. He's not big. Escape from the shore. He's only a teeny tiny one. It's only a small one. When I say small, what do you reckon, Cole? 40, 50 as a guess? Absolutely stunning. So because he's barbless hooks, he's got a leech on him there actually. I'll take that off. Take that leech off. Don't whip me with your tail. Take that leech off. That's a big leech. Those leeches are horrible. Cheers buddy, thank you. Right, photograph's done, let's get this creature back. Oh. Come on mate, let's get you back. Come on in, come on. He's going already. He's hunkered down, look. He'll be right, just get him settled. A shot of him in the clear water. He's just resting up at the moment. He chose to stay there. I tried to, he took the water in through his sphericals, he's just resting up. In a minute he will glide and flap himself away. But look how beautiful he is in that clear water. I say him, it's a she. Stunning. You see the patterning on them? Crystal clear, beautiful. I had to make an adjustment to my rig, and I discussed that earlier with the 4 foot or 3, nearly 4 foot of extra shock leader, because my pulley rig just wasn't fishing right, you know. Now it comes back and it's tangled and it puts doubt in your mind and all the rest of it. Well, these are the revised baits, revised rig. That one's gone out and pulled me in a skate. Albeit a bit of a waiting time. It wasn't quick. I've had dinner. How long do you reckon we've gone from mucking around? It's been a good, these baits have been out a good hour and a half, mate, haven't they? Yeah, so they've been out a while. They soak. I just wanted to show you my debait, rebait, the routine. All the elastic is still there. So I'm going to show you me elasticing this up, and people don't like it. I understand why you don't like it, but that elastic has all come back. That can all go in a bag, it'll all go in the rubbish, and it won't go back in the water. I understand why people don't like it, but I don't think everyone understands that it just doesn't come back. That it does come back, that it doesn't stay out in the water. Even if they take it deep, you still got to retract the hook. The elastic is still always on the hook. So I am just taking a fillet of a past it mackerel. It's seen better days. You can tell by the fillet. Look at that. It's not good. Right, starting at the tail end. Do the normal threading routine. Watching my fingers. Don't want this hook in my finger. That'd be a trip to A&E. And all the way down. So I am a big old messy bait. Look at that. That's a big old mess. Elastic, strong elastic. Everything I know some people don't like. Bind it all up. Get it all there. I leave some past the hook. The hook isn't all the way to the end. So that big wet juicy bait now, all the way up. Twice around the finger and tie it off. Okay, so that's given us that, a messy mackerel bait. Then take one whole squid, one whole royal squid, go through the hook, turn it around, and then lay the body on top of the head, like that. So that's now laid on top of that big old messy bait. It's going to be hard to show you, but I'm going to elastic it up and then show you the result. Can be pretty brutal with this, quite tough, quite tight. We're not looking for pretty, we're just looking for volume of bait and tight enough to get it out. That measurement, I'm going to go to the van in a minute, get the chart, and then I'll be able to give a pound conversion as to what that actual fish is, or was. Where's my knife? Just pierce some of that fluid out. Okay, nice and tight. Right, you don't want to shroud the hook, but I'm not worried about the hook being in parallel with this bait, because they've got crushing, grinding teeth, and they will smash that bait and mash it up. So there is my bait. It looks ragged and bagged. The hook is there. You can see it there, look, nice and sharp. Just going to clip that up and get it out. Colin's just prepping another one of his. He's getting one of his out. That was a clear bite as well, mate, wasn't it? None of this tapping rubbish. That went off. That went off. I enjoyed that. It was good. Quick scrap as well. Quick, hard scrap rather than a long drawn out. Won't be using that mackerel head. That can go out. Right, I'm going to clip this up and get this out. See if we can catch another one, eh? Bigger one, bigger. Get a bigger one. Keep everything tidy. Loving this venue. Nice rocks, baiting table. Barbless hooks, easy unhook. The only reason why that didn't come out straight away is because he was biting the up. Yeah, mine's gone well to the right there. I need to tighten up on that actually. It's going to be dark soon. It looks like the weather's closing in. Gusting up to 33 miles an hour. I'm going to pack everything away that I don't need. Yeah, right, so it's been an exciting couple of days. We had a good day out on the boat. Many thanks to Leigh Taylor, Chris and Robin. That was a good day out on the boat, that. Strange fish towards the end where it came up normal, as in it didn't come up backwards, it wasn't tail hooked or anything like that, but it gave such a weird fight for Robin. Yeah, that was strange. 133 pound male, which is a big male, big male. He did well. 190 pound female, 133 pound male. I've had one from this shore mark, so I've ticked the box for my biggest fish of the year so far. 58 pound by chart. I'll check that. I'll double check that when I get home. If it's different, I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, 58 pound, which is a small. So that is a small skate by all measure. And yeah, it's been thoroughly enjoyable. We've got a 10-hour drive ahead of us. Whoa, easy bub. Cole's just gone over on the slippery rocks. It's really slippery. Yeah, so enjoyable. We have got a 10-hour drive ahead of us. We're keeping a very close eye on the weather because it all looks a bit ominous. But yeah, we'll play it. We're keeping an eye on the weather forecast and we'll play it as it goes. So, as previously mentioned, please comment, good, bad or indifferent, you know, within reason. Anything you want to mention, anything you want to discuss, anything you've seen in the videos you want to talk about, happy to discuss it all. Yeah, and from me, from here, for now, it's goodbye. Take care, tight lines, happy fishing, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye for now.